Welcome students to our new chapter, A Stormy Adventure by Neeta Berry. A Stormy Adventure. The title itself suggests that we are going to read about an adventure which is very stormy. A means one, stormy means a very bad weather, full of violent disturbance, violent winds. An adventure means an exciting or thrilling experience. It might be even dangerous also. So Neeta Berry has expressed her opinion, has expressed her feelings in this story, expressed her feelings of voice in the form of a stormy adventure. The characters in this story are Vishal and Rohini. They are brothers and sisters. Neeta Berry. Let's know more about Neeta Berry. Neeta Berry was a freelance journalist and author of children's literature. Her book, The Story of Time, won the Shankar Gold Medal in 1995. The Wonder of Water and Delhi, City of Rainbow Dreams are the other two notable works of hers. So, this A Stormy Adventure is also very interesting. We are going to enjoy this lesson while going through it. So, before moving to the content of the lesson, let's do pre-reading task. Have you ever experienced a sea voyage? Do you think it is enjoyable, exciting, frightening, or difficult? So, the opinion of each person may vary, each student may vary because of different reasons. We can say some might express it's full of excitement, it's full of enjoyment, it might be frightening, it might be difficult. Depending on the circumstances, depending on the situations, depending on the time or the weather. Now, sea. We all are well acquainted with sea. Sea, river, oceans, these all are water bodies on earth. They are the gifts of nature. The nature has bestowed upon us. The ship sails on sea. It, it is a voyage on a ship is very thrilling. The words related to the sea. What are the words that we can relate to the sea? The two examples are given here. Ship, waves. We see a number of animals there. We even experience tides, high tides, low tides. We see whales, shark, etc. Now, we may think that why the title is A Stormy Adventure. The adventure is really a stormy, or it's simply given here. Now let's go through it. Now read the story of Vishal and Rohini's adventures journey to Philippines. The MV Trishna gave a gentle love. MV Trishna is the ship which is being used by the characters in this story. A gentle lurk. Lurk. Lurk means roll on one side. Lurk. Lurch. Roll on one side. Why does a ship gives a gentle lurk? Because of the waves. The waves makes Trishna move gently. Not seasick again, exclaimed Vishal. Seasick. What is seasick? It is the feeling such as vomiting because of the movement of the ship. The ship sometimes moves, sails smoothly, it sometimes sails violently. So all the people are not acquainted with the weather of the sea or the voyage of the ship. So some get seasick. So Vishal comes and sees his sister getting seasick. So he exclaims with sadness that not seasick again. Looking at his sister Rohini in deep disgust, a feeling that is something unpleasant. As she groaned and held her stomach, groaned, groaned. Groan means to cry in pain, and held her stomach. She was crying in pain, so she had held her stomach. She was having stomach ache. Can't imagine why you came along at all. You surely didn't think it would be smooth sailing all the time? So Vishal is questioning, he is interrogating his sister. Why did you come along? Didn't you think that you might have bad experience also on the ship? It's not always smooth sailing. So the Vishal's thinking. He is more intellectual. He is more reasonable than Rohini. Rohini only made an inarticulate sound and disappeared under the bedclothes. Inarticulate, inarticulate, not expressed clearly. So she did not give any response response clearly and disappeared under her bedclothes. So she went to sleep. She was asleep again. Vishal shook his head in exasperation and turned to look at the calendar. 2 days more to go before they touch land. I might as well see what Papa is doing up on the bridge. So Vishal was exasperated. He was annoyed. He was disturbed also while traveling on the ship. So he went and saw the calendar. What did he see? He saw that 2 days were left to touch the land. I might as well see what Papa is doing up on the bridge. He conversed to himself. He said to himself that let me go to Papa and see what he is doing. The Trishna was on her way to the Philippines. The Trishna was going where? It was going to Philippines. The ship was carrying a special cargo of food for the people of the small islands in the South China Sea, which had been struck by a devastating typhoon earlier. So the ship, what is the name of the ship? The MV Trishna. What was it carrying? It was carrying a special cargo of food for the people of the small islands in the South China Sea, which had been struck by a devastating typhoon. A devastating typhoon had struck the small islands in the South China Sea, so the people had suffered a lot. They had nothing to eat, so the Trishna was carrying special cargo of food for them. This had swept inland, leaving a violent trail of destructions. So we are well acquainted with the typhoons, which not only disturbs everybody, but it makes the life miserable. Now let's move on to the next paragraph. Vishal and Rohini had decided to accompany their father, Captain Kumar, this summer, although their mother was staying behind as Granny was unwell. So Vishal and Rohini had decided to accompany. Accompany means to come along, to give company. So they decided to give company to their father, Captain Kumar, this summer, although their mother was staying behind. Their mother had not accompanied them. Why? Because Granny was unwell. The children had enjoyed the sea passage with video movies and books on board. But now the sea looked choppy and Rohini felt rather seasick. So the children were enjoying their voyage while playing video games, and they read a number of books. But staying on the ship became monotonous for them. They felt very boring because they were not habituated to go on ship, to travel on ship so long. So Rohini felt rather seasick. Vishal climbed the ladder a little unsteadily as the ship gave an unexpected roll. Getting your sea legs, getting your sea legs, laddie, grinned chief officer, who was coming down. You're quite a seaman, really, with that rolling gait. Vishal tried to look modest. Outside the stuffy accommodation, the ship air was fresh and wet. Vishal took a deep breath. There was a spray of water on the deck as he crossed his way gingerly towards his father in the wheelhouse. So Vishal was going to his father. He climbed the ladder unsteadily, very slowly, as the ship gave an unexpected roll. So ship was traveling on the sea. It was moving according to the movement of the waves. It was rolling, and Vishal was trying to balance himself. So he was also praised, he was also admired by the chief officer that he had that rolling gait. Gait. What do you mean by gait? Gait means a walk. Vishal tried to look modest. He was feeling very nice while getting this compliment. Outside this stuffy accommodation, stuffy means full of moisture accommodation, the sea air was fresh and wet. So inside the ship, the moisture was very stuffy, but outside the sea air was fresh and wet. Vishal took a deep breath. He was feeling relaxed. There was a spray of water on the deck as he crossed his gingerly towards his father in the wheelhouse. So he walked very smartly towards his father in the wheelhouse. Captain Kumar had a worried look on his face. He was staring restlessly at the barometer which had fallen steeply. He looked up at Vishal. Well, it looks like what we are in the rough weather soon. It's typhoon time in these parts, you know. Something is brewing. So who is Captain Kumar? Captain Kumar is Vishal and Rohini's father. So what was the expression of his father when Vishal went and saw his father? He had a worried look. But why? Because the barometer what was falling down steeply. Steeply means at a very fast rate. He looked up at Vishal and said, Son, it looks like we are in rough weather soon. They might have to face the rough weather, the violent weather. It's typhoon time in these parts. Something is brewing, something is about to start. Means the Captain Kumar is worried. What will happen? What will the consequence when they will be captured in the rough weather, when they will have to face the rough weather? What to do in the sea? He was too much worried. Sparks, the radio officer, rushed towards the captain with a sheet of paper. Weather report from Manila, sir. Hum, hmm, just what I suspected. Typhoon Elsie is deepening in the Pacific Ocean and moving slowly in the northwesterly direction. At its present speed, it will pass 70 miles away from us within 24 hours. Too close for my liking. He shook his head grimly. It's important to reach Mindao by Monday with our food stocks. The people are starving already. He reached out urgently for the phone. Secure everything on deck. Lash the cargo. Now let's understand the paragraph. Sparks is the radio officer who was also worried when he got the report. What does he carry to the Captain Kumar? He carries the weather report from Manila. Hum, just what I suspected. This is the expression of Captain Kumar. So, what did he suspect? He suspected that something was going to start, something was about to brew. What was brewing? Typhoon Elsie was brewing in the Pacific Ocean and moving slowly in the north-westerly direction. Its speed was 70 miles away from them. Within 24 hours, it will be approaching them. So he shook his head grimly. Grimly means sadly. It's important to reach Mindao by Monday with our food stock. So it was very necessary to reach Mindao by Monday with their food stocks because the people will also get starved if they reach late, and whether the typhoon also might create problems for them. So the people are already starving. Captain Kumar was worried. So he had to reach there urgently as quickly as possible. So he ordered his staff members, ordered his crew members to secure everything, to secure means to protect everything on the deck so that they would have no problems. The next paragraphs will be explained later in the next video.